and the mic is on right now as we're about to start episode. This is just a test, as they say. That's why there's no background music in the background. But when the show starts, this is what you're gonna hear. So you get a little vibe while we're talking. You get a little vibe. You can hear it. You can react live on the spot.
I like it.
The only thing you can't do is don't give into the urge to actually hum along or rap along or do anything on beat, because for some reason there's a delay. So when we're talking, when it's recording, when you play it back, your rhyme or your sing along is gonna be totally off. It's gonna be off like.
I want to see. I want to see what the delay is. No, I did.
Do it again.
No, it's too much pressure now, man.
It's another episode of Live and Rock. That's right. It's show for creative soul.
Most artists cannot be comfortable stuck in one box. That's right.
And that's what this podcast is about. It's not just filmmaking, but creative pursuits in general.
The creative life, whether it's music, whether it's writing, whether it's painting, illustrating,
photography,
dancing, whatever it is.
Make some noise, rock the world before your time runs out. Let them know what you're about and just make some noise, rock the world. No matter what your game, make sure the whole world remembers your name. Make some noise, rock the world before my time runs out. You know what I'm about, I'ma make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the episode 10 of Live and Rock. It's that creative show for creative souls.
That's right.
We chilling in the studio. And it's gonna be hot today, man. It's been crazy, man. We've been having some fiery debates already.
That's right. That's true.
We're gonna switch that energy into some celebration, and we're just gonna keep it going on the milestone that we've been going 10 episodes strong.
Speaking of milestones, we're in the place to be with Mr. Milo Flex.
What's up, everybody? If y'all didn't know, it was really punchy in here earlier. But it's all good. We're all friends here.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We were getting in some heated debates on the offline when we was warming up for this episode. But you know what? We're going to touch on that. And we're going to touch on so many other things as we go through the rest of this episode. But I just want to set it off and let you guys know, this episode is called the Mini Milestone Celebration because it's our 10th episode.
10.
We've only been in the business a little bit, just a little bit, not quite, but you gotta acknowledge the little milestones along the way. So today we're gonna spend some time talking about our favorite moments. We're still gonna keep the regular format. For those of you who are brand new to Live and Rock, just strap in, hang on for the ride. You're gonna get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but all together, enough niceness and a lot of good stuff that doesn't sound whack like me right now.
Man. 10 episodes.
That's a big deal. That's 10 tries that, looking to get picked up. That's 10 tries.
There it is.
And we're still rolling.
Shout out to those who've been
that's right.
following along
shout outs.
already.
Yeah.
There's been like a lot of love coming our way. You know what I mean? Like down south, we've been getting love. Shout out Jamal. Shout out. I gotta shout out Stubbs right now because Stubbs been hooking me up on the fresh haircuts.
It is looking pretty fresh.
Thank you very much. Young Doe and City Lights. They've been showing love, putting the comments out on social media. So appreciate that.
Yeah.
There's a lot, man. I'm gonna keep going. Artistic Elite, Forever Hayes. Got to give a big shout out right
there. My girl Hayes, what's up?
Whoa.
Hero Romantic, represent.
What's up?
Yeah, man.
We still need to go eat, by the way. So, you can always give me a shout, girl.
Yo, you just put the girl on blast like that, yo.
Yeah, guy. That's how I do. Is the pressure's on.
Straight goods.
No, there's actually, you know what? There's a couple more people I want to shout out because we spend a lot of time. There's a lot of people listening to this show that we don't even know. And it's like over the last week alone, I ran into so many people that is giving us respect. Online, awesome. My boy Josh, my boy Josh, from we call it Canadian Break-In, sent me some love.
What up?
Sent us some love the other day. So yeah, shout out Josh.
Joel too, man.
Sorry. Slow your roll, yo. I didn't interrupt you.
Sorry,
when you're doing.
Sorry guys, I'm just trying to show you love.
Don't worry, we'll get to that. But right. I mean, Josh, I did an interview with him at Comic-Con just today. Me and Rob Clark were at Comic-Con, and Josh came by the booth, and we did an interview for the Canadian Break-In.
Yeah,
so it's like
show
love back and forth. Yeah, Rob was there.
Must be nice though, right, guys? I mean, to be at the Comic-Con. Who worked today? Oh, man.
Yeah, some of us were at the day job.
Hold on. Let's get this straight. I was working today. I was at the Comic-Con, but I was working.
Okay,
I'm not there for fun and games.
No worries.
Right.
Yo,
follow Shell Rock on Instagram. You see how hard he was working, guys.
Yes, you will. You'll see people. You'll see people holding up my world famous inspirations, showing me love, and I was working hard to get them to, inspire other creative artists, sharing what I do by giving them my inspirations so they can be inspired to continue to do what they do.
All right.
And I still had time to do an
so
interview.
Angry right now.
Still had time to do an interview to shout out Live and Rock.
All right. Yeah, you got it. All right.
He's on fire now.
I'll let you keep doing your shout outs.
Okay, so there's so much more. We should probably take a quick break and then we'll come back.
Whoa, hold on. We'd like to shout out to R208. Y'all know who you are.
Yeah.
Appreciate you listening up.
Yep.
Big up Malcolm.
And and Joel, who gave us props at Mississauga Comic Expo last week. That's right. Another one who we didn't know who's been listening to the show. So many. And Joy San.
Too.
Yeah, Joy San, Artistic Elite. Yo, there's too many. We'll probably do some more shout outs at the end of the show, but you know what? It's about time we just get into it, especially for you newcomers. You must be like, yo, these guys talk anything of substance? Like, why am I here? So let's get into it.
Shout out show, that's what it is.
We'll take a quick TV timeout, then we'll come back with our first segment, which is our pop culture talk, and we'll just keep it going like that on the mini Milestone episode 10 of Live and Rock.
Rockin' Live.
Oh, yeah.
The modern Stone Age family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a page right out of history. Let's ride with the family down the street, through the courtesy of Fred to Pete. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba doo time, a dabba doo time. Through the courtesy of Fred to Pete. When you're with the Flintstones, have a yabba dabba doo time. Time. We'll have a gay old time.
Yeah. Yabba dabba doo. It's all about episode 10 coming live out to you.
Yes,
and how you guys feeling?
Ready
to
man.
Get into that pop culture.
Ready to pop talk.
Yeah. For those of you who are new, we always start the show off light. We like to just get a little warm up to our conversation and our mood by just talking about some no, that's not necessarily inspirational, but just, TV shows, movies, music, whatever out there that we're personally feeling over the last week that's keeping us inspired while we're on our journey to try and make it in the arts and entertainment industry. So,
yeah.
But I thought I'd throw a twist out this time since it's our Milestone episode. And we have our guest here, Mr. Milo Flex, who is one of our past guests on the show. You guys need to check out Podcasting 101, that episode, right?
Yeah, Podcasting 101.
But we didn't get a chance to do pop culture talk with you when you were a guest on our show. So today I thought, you know what? We're going to throw out that top 5 debate. Because we always like to debate the top 5 around here. And since it is related to pop culture, let's just get right into it, yo. I want to hear Mr. Milo Flex, what do you think of A, the movie top 5 if you've watched it yet, and B, who would be your top 5 MCs of all time?
Oh my God, you're going to start with this already?
While you think about that, Milo Flex, for those of you guys who are not aware, this is a bit of a throwback because we did this was our second episode, top 5.
That's right, yeah.
Where we talked about the movie Top 5, Chris Rock, and there was a lively debate, not only on the show, but online the top 5 MCs of all time. So, Milo Flex chimes in right about now with his selection.
All right. My top 5 MC of all time, all right? It's Dylan.
Yo.
All right. You know what? I can't remember it off by heart, but I'd say top 5, no particular order.
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls.
Okay.
Right? Talib Kweli. Personally, I like Mos Def.
Who?
Okay.
Mos Def?
I'm not familiar with that. Mos Def.
You don't know Mos Def? I may be saying his name wrong.
Do you mean RZA or?
My God.
Or is he one of those with the GZA crew? I don't know. Mos Def.
Listen, I was told his name was Mos Def, so I call him Mos Def.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. All right.
I don't know.
Y'all know what
I'm just bugging. Mos Def.
Really?
I agree with you.
Mos Def.
Is it Mos Def?
Yep.
Oh, my
Mos
bad.
Def.
Well, I thought it was Mos Def. But anyways, Mos Def.
Yeah.
True.
So I'm kind of old still. So my attention span, my memory, short-term memory is not good. So I don't even remember I don't remember Biggie and Mos Def. That's all I remember. All right.
Mos Def.
Yeah.
Talib Kweli.
Okay.
Nas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Tupac.
Okay.
I hate. Nah, man. Are you being serious?
I'm dead serious, man.
You're just trying to push my buttons.
No, I'm
you know
dead
what? Because
serious.
you listen.
You
You listen.
mix.
Man, someone's gonna get. Man, it's a PG show, so I ain't gonna say no more. But
You put some new names into the mix, and you're the
did.
first one to put both Pac and Biggie on one list.
That's true.
Yes,
that's
wanna know
true,
why?
that's true. Yes, I do
I
want to know why.
appreciate music and vocals from all sides of the world, East Coast, West Coast. I loved it all. I ain't picking one or the other just because. I like both of them for what they offered.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Right?
That's fair enough.
Personally, for me though, growing up in high school, for
Yeah.
whatever reason, musically and lyrically, I always connected more with Tupac than I did with Biggie.
True indeed. That's a very good
As a
point.
personal thing, for me, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
when I listen to Tupac, for whatever, it just resonated more to me
Yeah.
than I say Big. I like Biggie, but resonated more to me because
but
probably because I wanted to be like a West Coast gangster. But anyways,
Okay, so that was based on the content, but not necessarily the actual skill of how we rhyme.
what is skill?
Skill is to me is the craft. So to me, skill is the craft
what you
of
think is easy?
how well you put the words together, how well you
Nah, see, you're-
you flow. Content
He
is
flow pretty sick.
Content is another. They're two separate aspects. Content is the actual words themselves, what you're talking about. But you could be talking about something that's full of substance, but your delivery of it, which is the skill, is very weak.
Very true. But
Right?
if you're very skilled at crafting this tapestry of words, but you're not actually communicating in a way that resonates as strongly,
Right.
then guess who wins? The one who can actually connect with more, and whose messages and content resonates for a longer time.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it.
Well, you can't say longer time.
I was going to
because
say that.
The rap game has
not
changed
longer,
dramatically
but
these
more
days,
more
so
deeply.
it's hard to say.
Okay.
Whose music at the end of the day resonates more deeply.
At the
This
end
man
of
over here, Mr. Shellrock, he just doesn't like Tupac. He's just straight hating. That's what it is. But you gotta appreciate
By
the
the way,
man
I
for
gotta
what
shout out
he said.
Weezy. Yeah.
What's your top five?
we that was a shout out to you, Weezy, just in case. Yeah.
Weezy. I don't know who you are, but yeah.
Don't worry, he knows.
All right.
But, yeah.
You heard this. Okay, go ahead. For those who are new to the podcast, who was your top 5 again, CDH?
So my top 5 again was Nas, Pac,
Every time I hear it, sorry, you're going to hear me sigh.
Kane,
Yeah.
KRS,
KRS.
All right.
and I actually wanted to make an adjustment because I put in the Ambassador as my number 5.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you want to change it?
No, that I didn't say that last time, but
Oh,
I
okay.
thought about it
I could-
afterwards,
I
and
could have
put it
So
sworn.
who did the ambassador just kick out then? Your top
Yeah.
five?
you don't remember?
I remember you saying the ambassador. I don't remember you.
No, I said that after the episode.
Okay, well, I have to go back and listen.
It
But
don't matter.
Yeah.
All right. That's a good
It
one.
is.
So the ambassador is a gospel rapper. Because I know a lot of people who listen to podcasts may not be familiar with the rappers on that side of the
Never
industry.
mind that. He's skilled. Dope
No,
rapper.
he's dope. That's why. But I'm just trying to listen. Live and Rock is about giving people shine and like pointing people to new stuff. So I know I'm being aware of our audience. I'm like, okay, I want you to know who it is
Yeah,
so they
you
can
know
go
what?
check it out.
That's true. 'Cause
Yeah.
honestly, I don't know who the ambassador is because for
Right.
me, in my ignorantness, all right, to me, like hip hop and gangster rap and all that stuff, it needed curse words. Right? If it didn't have curse words, I wasn't really gonna be down
But
with
some
it.
of- I mean,
But I was very young too. Like everyone
Yeah.
else. So
like I'm
that's
sure
that's good to know.
some
Maybe
of
in my
our
older
audience
age,
doesn't
I
know
feel
who
like
Talib
that being
Kweli
something
is
better.
either, right?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just
He's a lesser known.
to a little degree. But I'm just saying, like
Anyone who knows knows.
Yeah, So, but anyways, the bottom line is Ambassador. He's a dope MC. And yeah, regardless of the whole debate we're having here about content versus the actual delivery,
I'm gonna look that up.
Ambassador is a great MC, like for both sides of that coin. The content and the flow is just like nice. Like yeah. So speaking of flow, I want to switch the flow up a little bit here, just because. I want to squeeze in another thing in this section if I can on another top 5 question, because we do the top 5 MCs all the time and that's such an easy one to go to. But I want to throw some other curveballs in there.
Top 5 out there?
Yo.
All he did was chirp our top 5.
Go back and listen to episode 2, the top 5, and then you hear
Shell
Rock's top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Back to it.
All right. And you can
see who got replaced on my list.
That's right. And you can even, again, send us your feedback. Tweet us at Live and Rock on Twitter. Hashtag Live and Rock. Who your top 5 MCs of all time. And you could do it while you're watching the video.
Oh, yeah.
Of the top 5 episode on liveandrock.com. Yo, it's all about that. But anyways, speaking of top 5, random top 5 action heroes of all time.
Top 5 action heroes of all time?
Yeah,
easy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
okay.
Easy. We all agree on that.
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah,
probably I agree on that. Yeah,
I probably have to say Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Willis. Yo, you can't be knocking Bruce Willis,
okay,
man.
Go on.
And number 5, I would have to say... I hate to say it, because I was not a really big fan.
Yeah.
But I am a big fan, oddly enough, is Steven Seagal.
Okay, we're definitely... No. I'm sorry.
I can't say that's top 5.
I think the top 2 are going to be pretty much agreements. Arnold and Sylvester. Okay. But, I mean, there's so many more. Like, Steven Seagal, first of all, Jackie Chan has to be on... How did Jackie Chan not be on the list?
I put Jackie Chan on there. And I also put...
Steven Seagal over Jackie Chan, bro?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
How much money and how many movies has Jackie Chan done?
It's not about money and movies, guy. It's about who are the quintessential people that you wanted to see battle it out back then. Jackie Chan's name was never in there. And same with Jet Li.
What? Are you Jackie Chan?
No,
are you crazy?
Hold on. You would compare Jackie Chan to Bruce Lee to like Jet Li. Those are the big 3. But when you're talking about like action movies, it was Arnold, Sly, freaking... I'm losing my mind because I'm so angry.
I would even
those guys.
Okay.
All right.
I would even put Jet Li on the list.
Guy, I would put Jet Li. Yeah.
I'm the Asian guy who's not putting these names in there. All right. Because I feel in my day, in the let's say 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
You would not have those names. It was my names.
Okay, guy. Maybe for 80s and 90s, but we're talking about all time.
That is my all time.
Guy. Seriously?
You can't say all time because it's still happening right now. Because like, who's hot right now?
So you got to include everybody.
I would honestly.
But you say 5.
Okay, so for example,
but you can't limit your list to only
all
one
time.
decade.
Then obviously you're gonna. Who's hot right now?
You're saying best of all
the guy
time.
Fast and Furious.
Personally, I would put The Rock on the list before Steven Seagal. The Rock has been doing it for a fraction of the time that Steven Seagal did. And I would say his
I can't put The Rock on the list. Because you know why?
Because you're crazy, man. How old are you? How old are you? Are you 12?
I don't see The Rock as an action star. I go out to see The Rock as like basically comic relief.
Yeah, like Mr. T2 or something like that, right?
Yeah, like even in his
Rock,
action roles.
No disrespect to Rock. You know what I'm saying?
He's more of a comedic action star.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man.
Straight
up.
No, but
actually,
I'm looking. Okay,
one of the movies I actually like The Rock in. One of the movies I actually like The Rock in wasn't even that good of a movie, but in my opinion, a little underrated. Was Faster.
Faster.
Yeah. See, these guys don't even know that movie. But that's what I'm saying.
But I'm looking at it.
Look it up. Faster. Look it up.
All right.
To be honest, I'm looking at it as a box office draw.
No. You can't
box
say
office draw.
Then you should say one of your top 5 box office draw movies. That'd be like Titanic.
No.
No, you didn't say action.
Man.
I'm saying action star. But
top 5.
I'm just saying my personal interpretation of that question is that I'm looking at it as which action stars have the most popularity and draw the most money and have that if you put their name out there all time, like they're the ones that the general public.
That's not fair. You can't ask a question and then start saying, well, my interpretation of this is this, and you're wrong because my interpretation is this. You can't say that. That's wrong, man. You can't. It's just top 5, straight up. What are the top 5 names pops up in your head, no rhyme or reason, that's it.
Okay.
True indeed. I have to
CDH,
agree with
what's your
Alan on
top
that.
5? And just like that, no rhyme or reason, 5.
So we already agreed the top 2, Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. I told you I would put Jackie Chan on the list. I told you I put Jet Li on the list. And for my number 5,
Bruce Leroy?
No.
No, Bruce Leroy.
It's a bit tough. But here's for some controversy. Harrison Ford.
Lord of mercy. Are you crazy? Yo, honestly,
You said box office draw.
no. You know what? I'm gonna allow us to again send it out to our listeners. # Live and Rock, or just @ Live and Rock on Twitter. Who are your top 5 action heroes of all time?
If you were alive.
Does Harrison Ford make that list, or CDH Live smoking something?
Listen, if you were alive in the 80s and 90s, you would know that I'm right, and that's it.
I want to debate. But you know what? We're gonna leave it at that because time is running. We got to get to the next segment before.
Wait, you didn't put your list out there.
No.
Again, this guy's trying to take the list.
Listen,
You're like an instigator, Ace. Give me your 5, guys, so I can chirp on you, man. You guys been chirping on me the whole night.
I'm the moderator. I'm the
come
moderator of this
on.
episode, and I don't want to make sure.
Instigator.
Exactly. Put out a list, man.
Okay, how about this? I'm gonna put out the
Top
list.
5.
I'm gonna put out a list, and we're just gonna put it out there, quick time, and no rebuttals, or we gotta keep it
He's
moving.
so scared,
Keep
man.
it moving.
He's so scared.
Save your rebuttals for the
What
end of the
I call you?
show, or online, Live and Rock.
Why are you so scared,
# Live and Rock, or @ Live and Rock on Twitter. So
Yeah.
top 5: Van Damme.
There it is.
Schwarzenegger, Stallone, not Jet Li, Jackie Chan. And then, just because none of you guys gave any love to the brothers, I'm gonna throw Wesley Snipes in there, and I'm gonna throw
All right.
another controversial one, just because I want to throw a brother in there, Sam L. Jackson.
What?
Samuel Jackson's not an action star. What are you talking about?
Hey,
Oh my God, Shell Rock. I'll call you Shell Mellow from now on, man. You're not a rock, you're a Mustang guy. Shell Mellow.
no comments. Let's go.
All right.
Next segment.
Shell Rock is
You
ridiculous.
don't like it?
Shell Rock is no
Hashtag
longer
Live and
Shell
Rock.
Rock.
This
Shell
coming
Rock,
from this-
# Shell Rock is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Long live
whatever.
Shell Mellow.
This coming from a guy that put Harrison Ford and Steven Seagal. Let's go. Come on.
Yo,
Steven Seagal's well, first off, Steven Seagal's 7th degree Aikido master.
I know.
Harrison Ford did the entire Indiana Jones series.
Listen,
And drew
Steven
in
Seagal is
more
crazy.
box office draw than
He is
any
crazy.
of those guys.
I have 2 words for you. Snakes on a plane. Done. Mic
Oh
drop.
my
Let's go.
Sharknado.
Okay, no, seriously, we got to keep it moving. Time is running out.
all right. Yeah.
So,
Fair enough.
on that note,
This is
you know, top 5 is one of the things. This whole episode is all about not just top 5, but all the different types of episodes we've done here on Live and Rock, because this is our mini milestone celebration, and we want to talk about not only our top 5 episode, but we want to get into the rest of Live and Rock, our favorite moments, our
We also want to hear what your top 5 is, so always tweet them
Yeah.
at Live and Rock. On Twitter, # Live and Rocks, because, it's not just us shouting top 5s. We want to hear your top 5 too.
That's right.
There it is.
So we're going to talk about, move on to talk about some of our other favorite shows in the past 10, our long history of 10 episodes.
Yeah, there's so
and
many moments,
and we're going to
so
sum
many
some
highlights.
moments. And we're also going to talk about some challenges and other things about it. But before we do that, we cannot skip what's the most important to our listeners and the heart of why we do Live and Rock. We want to give you guys some ammunition for your mission to become the next great musician or actor that we're talking about on Live and Rock. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
Tips and tools. So without further ado, we want you guys to just get ready to suit up. And I'm messing up with this new thing.
Stay
All right.
tuned.
Segment break, suit up, and we're gonna give you guys your tips and tools. Here we go.
My ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is.
Suit up! You suit it up. Snow suit up. Flight suit up. It's gonna be legendary. It's gonna be legendary. It's gonna be legend. Wait for it. And I hope you're not lactose intolerant, because the second half of that word is dairy. Space suit up.
Suit up! Suit up!
By the power of Grayskull.
So yes, guys, we are back. So this is the section where we call Suit Up, because we're giving you some kind of tips or tools that you can use. What could be a motivational movie that we saw, or a podcast. In this particular case today, it so happens what I want to recommend is a show that a video blog called Dinner for Five. Again, we're on that whole five vibe again. Have you guys heard of Dinner for Five? Any of the two of you?
Yeah,
No,
man,
sir.
I've seen it.
You've seen
many
it?
episodes.
Many episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how come you never told me about it?
I've mentioned that to you before,
Oh
but
my gosh.
you know, as usual, it takes a few times to get it through to
Right.
the older folks. You gotta make sure
Are
you
you-
speak very loud
Yo,
and clear.
you're gonna take that, Alan? You gonna sit here and listen him call me and you and me old?
I didn't hear that. What was that?
Yes.
You have to
Anyway.
speak in my good ear.
Exactly. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so Dinner for Five, for all of you guys out there who are, aspiring artists in specifically TV and film, yes. But even if it's not TV and film, Dinner for Five is it's a round table video podcast. Where it's hosted by Kevin Smith. The episode I watched was hosted by Kevin Smith.
Okay.
And they're just literally sitting around a dinner table at a restaurant, and it's him and 4 other celebrities.
Yeah.
In the episode I watched, it was Kevin Smith. Actually, let me pull up my notes. That's the whole point of having notes, is that you can read them, right? Dinner for Five. So the episode I watched was Kevin Smith, Mark Hamill, J.J. Abrams, Jason Lee from My Name is Earl,
Right.
and Stan Lee,
Yeah.
all sitting at the same table.
Stan Lee.
Like,
Yeah.
seriously.
The
like,
one and only.
yeah.
The one and
Oh
only.
my God.
Yeah.
Now,
Crazy.
again, as
Sounds like a hot episode.
that's a hot,
That's
like,
sick.
where else can you go and get to listen in on
Yeah.
these iconic, big,
Yeah.
captains of industry, if you will.
Yeah.
and get to hear their, you know what I'm saying?
True.
So it's inspirational, it's informative, and regardless of whether you're trying to get into film or not, I just find it's something that will, inspire you. For instance, while I was listening to it, I found out Jason Lee was the voice of Syndrome in you remember The Incredibles?
Yeah.
Jason
wow,
Lee was
yeah.
the one that did the voice. I
Oh,
didn't know
really?
that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
There you go. Information, just like that. I also didn't know he was actually a skateboard star before he started his acting career, like a full-fledged star in the skateboard world.
Wow.
So again,
That's serious.
it's every episode is different, the different selection of celebrities and whatnot. But I just thought that'd be a cool one to let you guys know about on this episode of Live and Rock, in terms of tools and tips and giving you something to motivate you as your.
I like that. I like that. Keeping that 5 theme kind of in the.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm gonna have to disappoint.
I'll let you go ahead, Alan.
For me, one of the things I really like is the Rooster Teeth podcast.
Okay.
Or roosterteeth.com. Because they basically started off like us, a bunch of guys in their apartments doing like a little bit of machinima before YouTube was around, before internet was really a thing. And basically they ended up having a podcast and they started getting picked up and got noticed. And now they're huge. They actually have a full-fledged cinematic movie that they've made, a 2-hour movie that's in
for
theaters.
real?
It's in theaters. Now it's not Rooster Teeth movie, it's Rooster Teeth a movie. So
Okay.
they made a movie.
Okay.
It started off as a Kickstarter as well, so I
Yeah.
mean they got like crowdfunding, but
Yeah.
they ended up making probably the most money for a movie featured thing on
Yeah.
a Kickstarter
Yeah.
in history of this Kickstarter.
Okay.
So that's how big they are and how big they've gotten.
Yeah.
So for me, what's motivating is that we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
They started
They
it
started
off,
the same way.
and
Yeah,
they are successful
Yeah,
now
yeah.
and known, and they have like their own like RTX type events.
Yeah.
And basically they show up at the cons and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, that's the motivating thing is that they do videos, they do podcasts, they do entertainment, they do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Video games.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're pretty big now in the whole entertainment internet industry world.
Yeah. That's a good one.
From guys who are in a garage, in an apartment, to going to medical school, etc.,
Yeah.
all went to computer programming.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I like that one.
Yeah.
I still have to check him out because you recommended it to us on the podcast in 101 and so, but I still haven't checked it out, so I gotta get on that.
True that.
So that CDH can't chirp me again for not listening to the
No worries.
recommendations.
So I'm gonna.
Sorry, we have less than a minute.
Yeah.
So how about we just take a quick pause?
All right.
Actually, no. You know what? We're not going to take a pause.
Yeah, let him finish.
I got a way to deal with it. I'm going to, yeah.
It's a celebration. The rules are a little broken today.
Rules are a little broken.
There it is.
I'm going to let you do your list right now. Forget the pause. I'll figure it out. Just hold it. Hold that thought. Give me 1 second. So, As you were saying.
Yeah, I'm
Mr.
thinking
CDH Live.
It's nice to have some sources of inspiration, but I wanted to give some tools for creation.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I see what you did.
So, all the creators out there, these are a couple of apps that many of you may have heard of, but maybe you didn't know which one to use or got the inside scoop. So I'm going to give you the top 5 productivity apps for your iPhone, your Samsung, your computer. Top 5 productivity apps.
Oh, God, you're making me look bad.
Number 1, Wunderlist. That's WUNDER list.
Okay.
That is most simple task list organization tool that you can possibly get.
I've heard that one a lot. That name, Wunderlist.
I've recommended it before. I use it all the time, including right now.
Okay.
Number 2, Asana. ASANA.
That sounds like a food or something.
This is like Wunderlist on steroids.
What?
Okay.
This is like the most robust task and project management app you can use.
So if I can use a metaphor, analogy, it's like Wunderlist would be the most easy, user-friendly, jump-in, simple task list. And then for the super pro that wants to get deep and lots of, you're going to go to Asana.
That's right.
Okay.
If you got a lot of projects on your plate and you're trying to keep them organized, Asana is your friend. I recommend free apps, and you can download these or use the online version for free.
Okay.
Next one would be... Asana is also amazing for collaborating with teams. I've used it for... when I was creative director for big festivals, and kept a huge team together with
You're a
Asana.
creative director?
We'll get to that later. Number 3, Trello. Trello is also a really good organization tool. What I found it's useful for is keeping ideas and stories together. This is where you can keep your blocks of ideas and rearrange them if you're working on scripts or you're working on storylines and plot points.
Or
Trello, amazing tool. All of these tools, again,
very visual too, right?
Very visual.
Okay. All right.
All of these tools.
So what I'm gathering right now is that you're having trouble organizing your life and your thoughts.
No, you're gathering that I found tools to organize my life and my thoughts.
True.
All right. Number 4, Evernote. That is your digital notebook. And if you have any notebooks at all, then Evernote is your digital version, and it will enhance what you're able to do with them.
Yeah.
And number 5, iPhone notes.
Oh,
only
my
if you
God.
got an iPhone.
iPhone only. By the way, we're not sponsored by any of them, but if you feel like sponsoring the Live Rock team, we're more than happy to contact you and have you contact us, actually. We'll work something out.
Yeah, straight.
Real talk.
But on a real, all these tools have helped me tremendously because I have major trouble keeping things straight in my mind, and when I can get them down, it helps me to stay on task and keep deadlines and so on. So I know it will help anybody who's looking to get that kind of organization help.
I can't lie. I've been chirping you while you've been doing this list, or kind of like making light of it, but it's a serious list.
That's serious.
Honestly, you've been telling me, if there's anyone in the world that I know uses these kind of tools and I can see the fruit of the benefit of them, it's you. Because this guy, almost every other day, it feels like this guy's coming to me with a new practical, what do you call him again? What do you call him?
Productivity
app. That's it. Task management. Yeah.
Whether it's just what to get from the grocery stores, or it's how to get a team from 3 different cities together on the same page.
Yeah.
One of these apps can do that for you.
And
hashtag Live and Rock, and I'll let you know which one is the best for your project.
That's true. I like that list, man. Thanks a lot, CDH.
Yeah,
I hope you guys appreciate that list, and not just the list, but this whole section of the Live and Rock show. Like I said, this is the Milestone episode, so we're talking about the stuff we like the best, but we also want the show to be interactive, and that's one of the components we're really trying to push as we move forward from episode 10. So let us know.
Inviting you guys to actually be a part of this show as we keep moving forward.
That's right.
I think that's what we're going to be getting into is what is moving forward for Live and
That's
Rock.
right. That's right. So we are going to get into that section now. So, but like I said, right before we get into the section, like I said, give us feedback on this section. You know, the tips and tools, hashtag Live and Rock, at Live and Rock on Twitter, and let us know what you think about the tips and tools section of Live and Rock. All right. So without further ado, we're going to get into our feature conversation, which is the importance of the mini milestone celebrations.
Right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So, it's the mini milestone celebration, episode 10. What is up? I see my boys just... Guys, sorry, I just got distracted because talking about celebrations, Milo Flex is really digging what's going on with the DJs, but the DJ's spinning in the background right now.
Son. Can't go wrong with ODB.
Yeah.
This gets me all punchy.
Yeah. That's right. It's all about getting excited, and that's what we're doing right here today. It's our 10th episode.
Yeah.
We're 10 strong, 10 deep, and both CDH Live and me are excited and happy about that. There's a reason why we decided to acknowledge this 10th episode and really do it as a celebration. And it came up, the idea started with me thinking about the fact that how important it is to celebrate the small things.
Yeah.
You know, it's only 10 episodes, and just because it was the number 10 in my mind when I was thinking about it, I was like, man, we need to do something special.
Yeah.
And sorry, you want to...
No, I just completely agree. And just to kind of bring it to some actual context here, 10 episodes is worth acknowledging because a few months ago, Shell Rock and I were two creative souls on different paths.
Yes.
Even though we're brothers, we were on different creative paths. And at a crossroads, not knowing how we should move forward. And after a few conversations, we decided to take this step together.
Yeah.
And now we're at 10 episodes strong. We've had some growing pains and also some achievements.
Yeah.
And some highlights. We've talked about things that are not only important to us, but we've gotten feedback that people appreciate those things.
Yeah.
We've learned new things. We've exercised our creative skills.
Yep.
We've had some really significant achievements, and we've been able to collaborate with new people like
Mr. Milo Flex
right
here.
in the Live and Rock studio.
You also got to understand, like, even though 10 episodes may seem small, but to someone who's been trying real hard, it could be very discouraging before you even get your 10 episodes, and people will quit.
Yeah.
Like, this is only 10 hours of audio, but that's 10 hours of audio you guys got going on now.
Yeah.
And 10 hours of, like, over 10 hours of editing and work that goes behind the scene that you have no idea about.
Yeah.
You know, you just see there's 10 hours of audio, but there's so many more hours behind that to make these 10 episodes. It's a big deal, guys. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, people don't know unless you actually try this yourself. But a lot of times, I even know, like, these guys, I met these guys who have their own podcast, their own, like, YouTube channel, and they're trying to get into the gaming industry and stuff like that. And they have videos once every, like, month, and I don't cut it. Right? Like, they've got like 8 videos, and I'm like, did you guys quit? Because, like, I subscribed, but I don't see anything coming out. Like, you guys have been pushing out an episode every other week, a video every other week to balance out the weeks. That's 10 videos, 10 hours of podcasting, and countless hours behind the scenes.
That's what to say, not to mention.
It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal.
Yo, I appreciate that acknowledgement. Trust me, I appreciate that, Mr. Milo Flex. And you know, again, not to really beat the point to a pulp, but that's part of the sentiment why I wanted to do it, because it's easy to see a small number and say, man, it's not worth it, but I was listening to my old podcast, one of my many old podcasts that I used to do by myself, And in those old podcasts, by the way, it's called Planet Shell. You can look it up, Google it. You might get a laugh out of it. But anyways,
Shout out to him.
on those old podcasts the other day, I was listening to them just for fun. I was listening and I was like, in those old podcasts, I used to talk about, okay, what am I working on in the creative world? And at the end of every show, I was talking about, yeah, I'm working on these books and I have a couple books I'm trying to write. And as I was listening to them, I was like, holy crap, wait. I have those 2 books right now. They're done. I've been out at Comic-Cons for the last 2 years promoting those 2 books. This is like, this is surreal right now. What's going on?
It's a trip,
you know
right?
what I mean?
When you look back, the struggles that you were in then,
Yeah.
and you look back, it's like, man, I did that already, man. That's done, son. And it's like, man, now I'm on this whole new journey.
Yeah. It just made me realize, like, you know what? When you're in that place and time when you're just beginning, sometimes you get discouraged if you haven't reached the real big, end goal that you want. So but if you take time to take stock of the little things, the benefits and accomplishments you made, sometimes that's enough to, like, you need to acknowledge it to yourself, just so that you can, don't quit. Keep going. You know what I mean?
Quit.
Yeah. Live and Rock has had its challenges. We in our own minds, we would have loved to have twice as many episodes done by now from the time we conceived it. But at the end of the day, we've accomplished other things that's worth celebrating. So that's why we're here doing the mini milestone celebration and trying to convey to the Live Rock Nation the importance of doing the same for yourself if you're going through some discouragement or of not making it, so far.
And which kind of leads me towards the question that is on my mind for our milestone is, what's hot with rock?
What's hot with rock?
Yeah, because people don't really always know what's hot with rock. In your old podcast, you talked about these books you were working on.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned now you have them done. You've been at Comic-Cons. But we want to hear a little bit more about the journey that you're on outside of the Live and Rock podcast. What is your creative journey like right now?
Okay, I'll answer that question. I want to answer that question. But before I answer, I just want to mention, I also want to, while we're doing this segment of the show, so before we don't forget, later on, I want us to talk about some of our favorite moments so far that we've, right? And Milo Flex too, and some of our Milo Flex, you were on the show, some of our guest moments. So anyways, just want to put it out there so you guys know what's coming. And we don't get too far off track. But Shell Rock, what's hot with rock? Well, to be honest, through the process of doing Live and Rock, I've done a lot of learning of how to try and streamline and do what needs to be done to become successful. And as much as we've been sharing, I've also been a student of what we've been sharing with people. And one of the things that I've learned is I'm trying to have focus. Focus versus diversification. Another episode, go check it out, liveandrock.com. But I'm trying to focus right now on just the writing. I've been doing so much other things, trying to do my music on the side, trying to do the digital art. And even if you listen to the first couple episodes of Live and Rock, you'll hear me talking about, I'm going to be doing a brand new line of digital art. But at the end of the day, you only have so much time in the day and so much energy. So over the last couple weeks, I finally come to the point where I realize, it's just the writing. So I'm working on a brand new blog called The Super Years. That was always on deck. It's called The Super Years. It's co-created by my man Vincent Galvez, the writer for Heroes of the World, and another special guest on a couple of episodes back on Live and Rock. But this one is Super Years. It's basically the Wonder Years meets Smallville. For all you old cats out there. It's that age and time in life when the middle school, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, when you get that first puppy love, that first crush that you have on the girl.
I love the
you know what I mean?
Crazy.
Fred Savage, shout out. I know you don't know me, but who knows? You may hear this one day.
Winnie Cooper. Winnie Cooper.
Yeah. So it's that kind of nostalgic look back at the 80s, with the main character. Two main characters it's a Henry Jones and Nikki Reed, both two main characters. And the twist, like I said, it meets Smallville because there's superpowers involved in this. So it's kind of that age of life, the 80s. But what happens when you throw superhero human attributes and things into the mix. So look for that. It's a blog. It's going to be coming out before the year is done. It's going to be live and up and running. I'm going to be hopefully featuring different artists on it every week. But that's what's hot.
I'm excited for
Live
that
and
one,
Rock.
actually. I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm well hot for it.
I am excited.
That's part of why I asked the question, to be honest.
Yo, I'm an old cat, so the 80s to me was my favorite decade of all time.
Okay.
So, man, to hear that, that's just going to trip me back, man. It's going to be great. Stay tuned for that one, folks. I'm even excited.
Yes.
For real. Speaking of that, Mr. Milo Flex,
Yes.
I'm also curious. I mean, like, if it hasn't been said yet on this episode, it's really cool to have you here.
Yes, for real.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a 10th episode without having some of our favorite guests on here, and of course,
That's nice.
having you here specifically.
And you know, when we started, we really didn't know who it was going to reach, who is going to resonate with or whatever. So I'm curious for you, because on your first visit with us, you had sort of a dormant YouTube channel. After that episode, you ended up putting out a new video. So I'm curious, what has Live and Rock, how has that impacted you as a creative soul? Because you've been faithful and you know, being on for the ride and now joining in on board. So I'm curious, what's your creative journey like right now?
Right now, well, for a while, it's always been very quiet because I haven't really done much. It's actually like my channel where I haven't done a lot of videos. But meeting up with the Live and Rock team, like, I always wanted to do podcasting. But the only thing is, I didn't know anyone else that had the same drive or the same determination or motivation to do it. Right? Like, for example, I always wanted to video game Twitch stream. I don't have enough friends to play online to do that. So it's kind of a lonely journey. So, So like joining up with you,
to the choir right now.
So joining up with you guys gives me reason, right, to like, you know, to help out with the edits of the video, which is something new now. So you know, I hope you enjoyed some of the tweaks or changes that may come, but always give us feedback if you wanted to see something different. I'm always open for that. At the same time, it's kind of sparked that little fire again to make YouTube videos. You know, because it's always like CDH Live is always like, so when are you gonna pop a new video? I'm waiting. You know, I like your stuff. I like your style. When you go? And I was like, dang, man, what am I just sitting here just talking about? I should just do something. So it kind of fired me to pop a video out. And I still have a couple more ideas that I like to get in. But right now, my focus right now is helping out with the Live and Rock team as well. So in terms of that, that's what's new with me, and that's what's motivating me. And being on this podcast, hopefully I can come back for a future one down the road.
You know, but for sure.
That's what I like. This is what I like.
Given.
So this is what's new with me. And see, if even you guys don't know, even guys like me who talk on this podcast, it motivated me to do something new.
True that. We are accomplishing something. That's a beautiful thing to hear. Yeah, I
don't know. You know, it has to come back to you now, right?
I kind of suppose so, but
your body language, like you're trying to slink away. You're trying to slink.
Like, all right, just wow.
Well, you know, because it's a mini milestone, I'm gonna give a mini piece of what it's meant to me, but because it's a lot. But the overall thing is that being able to actively be working on something that's ongoing, and have that creative energy with somebody else working together, that has made really all the difference to me, because literally at this time last year, I was probably like not even able to think about writing, for example.
Right.
And now I've started this new journey where I'm aiming to write and produce and perform at least 1,000 hours within the next year.
Yes, that's right.
So it's definitely given me a lot of motivation. And like you said, Rock, it's made me a student of my own words. I listen back to the podcast, and you know, I've taken tips from our episode with Milo Flex on social media.
That's right.
All of a sudden, I'm getting new followers every week.
Nice.
Nice. You know, I've taken tips from our episode with Vincent Galvez.
That's a good one.
Being able.
Oh, you heard that?
I heard that one.
Nice.
He's got a voice, man. Like, you can just listen to it all day. It's like soothing and like attention grabbing at the same time. It's so weird.
So yeah, there's definitely a lot of moments that have meant a lot to me. But again, overall for me, it's just being able to refocus on pursuing what is my primary goal.
Yeah.
And my primary gifting, writing, producing, performing.
Yeah.
And realizing it doesn't matter where you start.
Yeah.
Just start.
Yeah.
And then you get to look back and see the progress.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it never feels like it's going as fast as it should be.
Yeah.
Eventually, when you look back, you're like,
Yeah.
wow.
That's how it is, though. Right?
Yeah.
That's how it is. Like, for example, you're always putting the dedication to your craft, and it's like you're gonna see your first video to like your 1,000th hour video, and you're gonna be like, man, what a difference, right? You look back, it's like, I wish I could fix that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And same with the podcast. When you start off, it was one way, but by the 1,000th podcast, it'd be like, man, remember that time when we look back? You know? So it's always like that. The journey is you cannot quit. You got to keep following your passion and work and always take new information, new input, and grow. Yeah. And then from there, when you look back, it may seem painful. But when you look back, it's like, wow, you'd be like, what a joke. Because you've grown so much from that point.
Yeah. You know what? On that point, I have to give shout out to a podcast out there called Sean West Podcast.
Oh, word.
You know what? I've been remiss for the first 10 episodes we've been doing this. I've been remiss. I should have mentioned this podcast and or plugged it for the Live and Rock crew, Live and Rock Nation, so many times already, but I just haven't. But the fact of the matter is, there's a podcast out there by a gentleman named Sean West, and he's a podcaster who is geared towards helping creatives of all walks of life, business people of all walks of life make it in their industry. In a lot of ways, he's kind of doing his objective is kind of like what we're doing. He just has a totally different voice and a totally different method.
Right.
But he has been someone who I've been listening to almost religiously for the last two almost 3 months. And Sean, Live and Rock Nation, trust me when I say he has some good messages. And one of the prime messages that he gives that I take to heart is consistency.
Yeah. And
that's what Milo Flex just mentioned. You know, it's never going to sound good at first, and you're going to want to quit. Like CDH Live said, you're not going to want to continue, but at the end of the day, you just got to keep going. Consistency. And if you keep going, eventually you're going to get the mark where you want to be. And where you are today is not going to be where you're at 10 days from now. True. And 10 weeks from now. You know what I'm saying? Even us only 10 episodes in, when you listen to our first 2-3 podcasts, they're nothing like what we have today. The structure and the polish, and not that we're really super polished, but I mean, we have some good structure. We've fine-tuned our content, you know, and we know what we want to say, what we want to do. We know what audience want to reach. So it's definitely, I would say, almost night and day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, I'm constantly looking for inspiration, looking for insight from others who have walked the path before us. Mm-hmm. There's a really well-known, award-winning songwriter who said this one time. He said, one of the keys to success is embracing failure.
Okay.
He said, failure is your friend. Mm-hmm. And what I took from that is it's not so much how well you do what you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's making sure that you do it. Because the more you do it, you're inevitably going to learn what doesn't work.
Right.
What you don't like about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to give you feedback. Right.
Or no feedback.
Or you're going to get no feedback.
Which will tell you.
Right? Which is going to tell you that you need to change something.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so failure is part of the journey.
Yeah.
So when you start out, just know that and embrace the failure and know that every success before you has had to face multiple failures.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing for me, that's like my whole story is just failure after failure. So I'm just looking forward to get
preaching to the choir right now. Never mind, I'm the choir leader. Right?
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, so to fail means you're doing something.
Yeah.
And if you ain't doing something, then you're not failing. You're just not doing anything. And that's probably the biggest failure you're ever going to have. So you might as well keep chugging and trying and learning. But you can't be hard-headed. You have to be hard-headed, but you have to be open-minded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be stubborn. Someone says you can't do it, you better freaking do it.
Yeah.
But you better learn from the mistakes, because if that's what keeps biting you, you're just like the moth back into that flame. You can't be that, because you're just going to burn. So end of the day, that's a serious quote, and you better, take his advice if you want to get somewhere.
True that.
So I like that that piece of it. I like that piece of advice, Mr. Milo Flex. And
I want to throw it out to you, the Live and Rock.
We gotta come. We gotta. I like that. Live and Rock fam. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Let us know, what has Live and Rock meant to you so far? If it's just been, one thing that has made an impact, tweet us, hashtag Live and Rock. Shout us out.
Yep.
Email, hit us up at Live and Rock.
Yep.
Instagram, whatever it is.
Instagram not Instagram. Yo, get your Twitter at Live and Rock. You gotta bear with us, folks. We just finally set up the first official Live and Rock on Twitter.
Yep, that's why
small step. Yep. So
I know you all have Twitter. So
Yeah.
you all have to be tweeting this now.
That's right.
All right? Because this is a community. Us just chatting, 3 people chatting, and no one come communicating with us is just as useless as talking to yourself in a room.
That's right.
So tweet us. Let us know. We're curious. We want to know what you want to do.
Yep.
We want to know what your inspirations are. We want to know if you have any tips or tricks or advice, because you never know. What you say can help someone else.
That's right.
And we want to know your challenges so that we can, have some dialogue about it and just share the journey straight.
Yeah.
We want to just... We're all on this road, so let's we might as well travel together and enjoy it a little bit more. Right?
Speaking of enjoyment, I want us to take a quick break and come back when we take from that break, talk about what we enjoy the most.
Yeah.
Some of our favorite moments of the Live and Rock show, 10 episodes deep.
Yeah.
And technical note, this show is going a little bit longer than usual. We usually go a little out for an hour, but because it's our 10th episode, I'm allowing us to go that extra mile. So we got another 20 minutes or so to kind of luxuriate and reminisce, kind of this song in the background back in the days. Yeah, we're gonna reminisce on the few short months we've been in business and the 10 episodes, talk about our favorite moments, and we'll do that when we come back from this break on Live and Rock.
Rockin' Live.
Peace.
In 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. I hope you guys like this particular TV break that's coming to a close in the background. It brings me way back.
Way back.
Way back. Talking about the 80s, talking about back in the days, like the song that was playing before we went to the break.
Straight.
A-Team.
Goods.
Darn it! I shouldn't have said it. We could have had a tweet us back if you know what that one was.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can stump you guys on the next one,
next episode. Yeah.
Tweet us. all the characters' names
Ooh.
from the original A-Team.
A-Team.
There you go.
Original A-Team. 1980s. Go back and check the super years. Go back check back. Back in the days. All right. So, celebrations. Celebrations. I mean, favorite moments, favorite things, favorite aspects of Live and Rock so far.
Yeah, there's some big moments, but I have to say two that come to mind that I've been thinking about a lot has been our Nashville versus Empire episode. Oh man, that episode is, for me, it was nice because Nashville was just like this kind of off the beaten path kind of thing that you wouldn't think I would be into.
Yeah.
And to be able to just kind of geek out on it for a whole episode. And compare it to Nashville.
Yeah.
That was hot.
I can't lie. No jokes. The funny thing is, I made notes for this part of the conversation, my favorite moments. And my number one thing on the note is Nashville versus Empire episode.
And the new season is starting right now, so it's kind of top of my head.
Okay,
Yeah, both Nashville and Empire new seasons are
officially right. Empire is out too deep.
Yeah.
And Nashville is around the corner.
So let's keep tabs on it, and we'll see who comes out on top for this season.
This season, yeah.
And
since we brought it up, go check out our episode. If you've never watched any of the two or only watched one of them, go listen to the Nashville versus Empire episode.
Episode 4, Nashville versus Empire.
If you only listen to one, shame on you. You should be listening to them all.
And actually, on that note, for me, the Nashville vs. Empire episode is on my list, not just because of the content, but meaning the Nashville Empire discussion about those two shows.
Yeah.
But it's on my list because it was one of my favorite episodes, because on a whole, it had a nice balance. It was the first episode I think had a nice balance between talking about pop culture stuff and giving you a history of Live and Rock as individuals, who we are, what gives us the right to talk on the mic, as I said on that episode, and why you should care, and what we're it's a nice introduction to us as creative artists and what we do. So if you've never listened to it before and you listen to that show, it's a nice one.
For me, I would have to pick something a little bit different.
Okay.
And I would have to say it was your top 5.
Okay.
The reason being, because you guys don't know, the top 5 sparked a lot of heated debates.
Yeah.
In our lives outside of the podcast.
Yeah.
There hasn't been an episode more where I was like, I wish I was in this episode right now, because I had so many things I want to talk about. We need to battle, I disagree, or I agree. And it was one of those, I wish I had a platform where I can like interact. So we might have to you guys might have to revisit that, because now when there's more people in it, like for real.
And then
now
we have more
they can talk back.
More,
at that time, I only had the avenue was to go face to face. Right. So to me, the top 5 is one of my favorite ones. Another one I would have to say is the diversification episode. Only because it was shortly after the podcast that I was on. And a lot of times it's like I wanted to add a couple things to the things that you guys talked about. But obviously I was like, nah, dang, I should have said it before, but it didn't come to my mind.
True.
I like that one because those two episodes kind of work back to back. In a certain regard. But for me, it was the top 5 because, man, some of that stuff we will never air.
I agree with you with the top 5. It's, again, one of my favorite moments, and it's on my notes for this episode. I liked it for the very same reason you said, Alan, because it was one episode that we had that I believe had the most interactive feedback offline, like outside the community. We definitely got feedback on top 5.
We brought it back again today
on Facebook.
So hot.
On Facebook, YouTube, flipping, and ongoing, we got lots of feedback. Everyone's saying, they're putting out their top 5.
Shout out to Chris Rock for making a great movie with a somewhat irrelevant title. that's fed our.
You know
you
what?
Brought a lot of us together, and you broke a lot of us apart. It had title, man.
And it sparked a sort of an ongoing theme for Live and Rock in terms of top 5. We brought it back. We brought it back today with Mr. Milo Flex. When we did the episode with Rob. After that, we got his take on the top 5. Right.
Which is what I was gonna bring up next. Is that just the guests in general. Like when we have guests on the show, I'm like hyped. Like those days, it doesn't matter what I'm doing for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
As long as I know we're shooting with a guest,
Yeah.
I'm hyped that day. Like I get out of bed fresh, alert. I'm like, all right, it's gonna be a nice day. And so far, all of the guests have delivered. I've not been disappointed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always a different kind of energy that we're able to get from the guests, and I'm like, yeah, I like this, and I like the fact that it sparked some interest where people, some of you guys are actually reaching out to us to be guests on the show, and I'm looking forward to have more of you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's tight. Because you never know, someone has a different perspective, right? It's a wrinkle to the everyday.
Yeah. Well, for me, who's coming from the days of doing podcasts literally by myself and talking to myself for like 10, 12 episodes deep, and having guests is just like off the charts for me. It's like I'm already enthused. I'm already like super happy that I actually have someone CDH Live as my regular, co-host, and then have a guest. For me, it legitimizes me. It makes me feel like, you know what? Like we're a real media broadcasting, podcasting entity. Like, you know
what's kind of funny is that it's kind of scratched the itch for me, because I haven't mentioned it much, but I used to do a online show, CDH Live TV.
Yes, the video show,
Yeah, so I was interviewing indie artists, and I had a good amount of episodes under my belt, and I kept wanting to do the show again, but I was just like, no, I don't have the budget, I don't have the resources.
Yeah.
And so when Shell Rock said, you know what, we could have a guest on Live and Rock, I was like, yeah. So when we have guests, I'm like, I always want to go in deep and start asking all these, introspective questions, but just being able to express that and really get the perspective of different people, I'm like, I like this. Yeah. This scratches that itch.
Yeah.
It's the Ritz cracker when you're eating nothing but saltines.
Yeah.
If you guys know where that joke comes from, tweet it at Live and Rock at liveandrock.com.
Yeah. Live and Rock. Hashtag Live and Rock.
Hashtag, yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Is that a Ritz cracker? No, that ain't no saltine. That's a Ritz cracker.
So speaking of guests, to add to the favorite moments, I have a couple guest favorite moments that I have. I'm not even pointing the mic to the right place. Let me fix this. Let me get this stuff straight. Come on, cooperate. I'm rhyming and I'm not even trying. Anyways, So
we got. Sorry, Milo Flex was one of the first that was not a rhymer until he came on Live and Rock.
Yeah. Actually, that's one of my favorite moments for the video. So for those of you who are listening to our podcast and you found us on iTunes and you never went to our website, we have a video side of the show.
Yeah.
So go to YouTube or just go straight to our website, liveandrock.com, and you'll see the video portions of the show. And the video is not just the video of us recording this audio. We record it separately, a totally different thing, short 5 to 10 minute thing. But anyways, Milo Flex, the moment when you were on the video episode and you were just on the spot spitting a rhyme, talking out. That was one of my I love that moment. Every time I watch it, I'm just like,
I don't know what I was thinking. That just came out like, I don't know.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments for sure.
It's been good.
And then another one I like, Jermaine Cowan episode. I like that episode because it was the first episode that we did with our new Spreaker app.
Yeah.
Plug. If you want to get into podcasting out there, trust me, Spreaker's the app. But anyways, it was the first episode we did with the new app and the new format that I felt was like 100% correct. Beginning to end. True. It felt nice and warm. All the different sections were done correctly. The guest was right into the conversation, pop culture talk, the creative talk, the tips and tools. My man came with a strong tip and tool. He took over that section for us with the Periscope. So I was like, yes, we finally nailed it. Like,
Yeah. And there's a lot of moments, but when you mention Jermaine's episode, it does make me think about something we haven't even mentioned yet.
What?
Which is on the day we shot that episode,
Yes.
we also shot something else.
Oh, yeah.
So we have the first ever full collaboration music video of Live and Rock.
What?
Which we shot on that day.
That's right.
With a little cameo from Jermaine
Cohen.
Cohen.
You shouldn't even have said that, bro. You should not even have said that.
All right, well,
yeah.
It'll be a surprise to some.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Stay
so
tuned for that one.
yeah.
And you don't have to stay too long. It's coming very soon. Because it's going to be released as our personal celebration with the video version of episode 10, the mini milestone. So look out for that within the next week to 2 weeks. The official video episode 10 mini milestone celebration, plus featuring the debut of our first ever music video.
That's right. This is Live and Rock's way of letting me know that I have a deadline now.
Yo, I want to shout you out, Milo Flex, because obviously I guess that's not a secret either, since you guys have both been hinting at it. But Mr. Milo Flex has been not only a guest, but honestly, I can pretty much say you've been like our number one fan. Like, honestly,
motivator too, man.
First person to give us feedback, I think. And of course, it helps that we know each other in real life and we kind of work side by side on the day to day, on the day job. Yeah. But you've taken a real interest in it just from a fan standpoint up to this point, and you really help to keep the fire going, even if no one else was listening. I know Milo Flex is listening, you know?
Yeah. I appreciate it, man. You know, it's the best I can do for you guys is to help out, right? Like, I mean, I may not be right, you know what I mean? But it never hurts to hear something from a different perspective. So I'm always willing to help out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So ladies and gentlemen, please, when you do that hashtag Live and Rock, say what up, Milo Flex.
That's right. and I want to, speaking of giving us a hand, you've agreed to come on board and help us out on the videos. We don't know how, indefinitely, I don't know, or at least for sure on the next episode. So for that, Mr. Milo Flex, you deserve a nice round of applause.
Oh, look at this guy, eh? Look at this guy. Thank you. It's a team effort, though. So you guys, I like what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
It gives me, again, I kind of get to live a little bit of what I always wanted to do as well.
Yeah.
At the same time, I hope it all, takes off and makes some cheddar.
Yeah, for real. So that being said, let me see. Is there anything that I missed on my notes? Do you guys want to talk about anything? Oh,
go ahead.
One, I would be remiss. I got to mention on the video show again as well. Brethren, Rob Wayne, Rob Clark.
Dang.
Yeah. That episode is one of my favorite, but a particular moment on that episode that I love is his freestyle at the end.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, though, that was sick.
The Comic-Con freestyle. Yeah. I love that. That was my favorite because my man represented for his hip-hop roots, our roots in hip-hop as a rapper. But he did it freestyle live. Yeah. And he managed to incorporate the fact that me and him are all about the Comic-Cons and the artwork now. We started in hip-hop, but now we're doing the comic thing, and it's all good. Yeah, so
true that.
I like that. That was one of my favorite moments.
That's cool.
Oh, come on. You can't say that and not talk about yourself. You can't say that and not talk about that. This is a video where Shell Rock here breaks loose. Oh my God. I watched that over and over and over again. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. So if you don't know what that is, you better go to the Live and Rock site and take a look, and you'll see for yourself.
Yeah. And I also have to say this, with Vincent Galvez as a guest.
Yes.
The thing about Vincent Galvez is he's the only one that we had to split into two parts.
That's
because he packed in so much useful information and ideas and mindsets, ways to think about things, and very much influenced me in my openness to collaboration. I kind of always thought I should get into it, but not knowing how to do it. And it really helped me to think about it in a different way, and be just really, a lot more open and intentional.
In
making collaborations.
Which
in some ways influenced even one of my most recent, where I was just last night with a friend / collaborator of mine, new production in the works, and it's like, yeah, all of these things are coming together and making a difference in real life, in the pursuit of my passion and in my creative journey. So it's like, yeah, everybody along the road has a little piece for the other.
Yeah,
So
he always thinks outside the box too, like his angles when you talk to him.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this calming zenness.
Yeah,
right.
the
And he has
guru,
like this. He's like this guru. He has
guru.
He has all this information.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't have the answer, he has a way of saying, "Yeah, I don't have the answer, but I think this is the answer."
Yeah.
And then you can't help but listen to him.
Yeah.
And so when he says it, it's like it's just you have to listen.
Yeah.
He's always positive too.
Yeah.
That's what I think about. I like about Vince. That he's always got a positive mindset. So no matter what it is, why not? What does it hurt to try, right?
Yeah.
And then the day, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you'll learn. So that's
Yeah.
kind of his thing. So if anything, listen to that one too. That one's a solid one.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it's a perfect segue to the last thing I want to talk about as far as this episode.
Really? That was unplanned, folks.
Which is nothing goes perfectly in life, and likewise, Live and Rock hasn't gone perfect. So I kind of wanted us to just touch on one or two challenges that we've had in doing it so far, and what the takeaway has been, and for me, I could start it off, because my only main thing that I wanted to talk about, because there's many, but I said out to one, and for me, it is actually the Vincent Galvez episode. So not him as a person or as a guest, but just the episode itself. Because, as you alluded to, CDH Live, he's a great guest.
Yeah.
Like, he has so much to talk about. And Alan, you said the same thing. I witnessed it firsthand because I've been collaborating him on the writing and everything for the last year.
Yeah.
So I was so excited about the episode. I was looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And from the time we did the episode to now, anything under the sun that could possibly go wrong has been going wrong. From the trials and tribulations of not being able to have the right spot to record when we did the day. To the flow of the conversation when we did it. We didn't get to do like how we have our smooth format now, where we get warm up and talk pop culture. Like we just didn't have the smooth flow like we have now. The video portion, we've had to reshoot it.
Difficulties.
We've had to reshoot it twice. We've reshot the video.
And we shot it once and we had to reshoot.
Yeah, that's right. And the reshoot also got messed up.
Yeah.
So I mean, like everything, everything has gotten messed up. I mean, how we've shot so many videos, and yet the one episode we did with him, all the audio was gone for some reason. We have no idea why.
When that video comes out, it's gonna be big.
Yeah. And then even the fact that we've had to split it up into two parts, because of content. 2 parts we split it up into, and we messed up that as well. We're supposed to go back to back, and now we haven't. It's been like 2 or 3 episodes in between now. So just the point is, it's been a challenge, the biggest challenge for me.
It's a challenge. The challenge is related.
Yes.
The one for me, which is TIME.
Time.
Yes.
Okay.
Because from day one, being that I've had experience with producing video shows, I knew how much time and energy was required for it.
Yes.
And we had the journey of you discovering that. But not just the fact of you discovering it, the fact is that it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
And especially when you're working with someone, to make sure that you're on the same page.
Yes.
The time that it takes, thinking about locations, thinking about, where's the footage going to be stored and how are we going to share it back and forth, and all these different things just take time.
Yeah.
And so that's been a major challenge. And realizing that as much fun as we're having doing Live and Rock, the whole purpose of it was to kind of share our journey and what we really want to pursue
individually. So
we need time to pursue those things.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, the time has been a major challenge, but I'm really grateful that we're doing it, that we've said it's a non-negotiable. And somehow we got to fit the rest into it. Live and Rock is just happening. And I like that, because it's the opportunity for people to see the reality of the indie artist,
Right,
giving
right,
that real insight that all of us kind of have to deal with. You got the day job, you got family, you got you know, maybe school, you got other things on your plate, and still you're pursuing this passion. And so I like that. And I'll do a quick plug for myself. Road to Life, 1 year, 1,000 hours writing, producing, and performing this year is my new YouTube initiative. They're like three-minute videos, really. And it just gives you, again, another perspective of the raw journey from day one all the way up to 1,000 hours. So being able to share that, I think, is right on point for what we set out to do.
I have to say, actually, I'm looking forward to see what happens at the end of the 1,000 hours. I watched when you did the first two episodes. I was so, like, honestly, not as a co-creator or your brother, like, I was literally genuinely inspired by the first two episodes as soon as I watched them. Because I don't know if you guys follow me, some of you guys listening that know me personally are on my Facebook. I'm always up in that midnight hour, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm always pushing out posts on Facebook at those time of hours because that's when I'm doing my thing. And that's when I sat down and watched those first two episodes. It was like 3 o'clock morning, and I was like, that time of night, in the middle of the night, I watched it and I was like, man, I'm inspired. Like, I feel like, yo, I gotta keep doing, I gotta do my thing. But so keep doing it, man. Keep doing
what
it.
I like about it is that for me, when I look at the video, granted I kind of know you personally, but to me it comes off like you're still a little bit nervous doing what you're doing, right? You may not be nervous, but the way it looks is like the confidence isn't 100% there yet. You're a little bit shy or a little bit nervous, and you know, because you're doing your thing publicly outside, you're recording yourself. So I like to see what you're like at the end, where you're just like, it's just natural, it's just nature, it's in you, and you are just in there.
I'm glad to hear that, because that's part of what gets me to keep doing it, because I'm like, normally there's no way I would let people see that. Like, when I go on stage, I'm prepared. You know what I mean? I'm rehearsed, I know what I'm doing, and I'm on. As a matter of fact, if you look at the most recent, I did an episode while I was in California. Which was difficult. I had to go find a spot to shoot. Whatever. But it's not my best work. Like, I'm taking off the showing behind the curtain. And you're seeing, like, me really at some of my worst performances. Right.
You never know, man. One day you'll be inside a mall with 100 people around you, and you're just like, all right, here we go. And it's just like, for you, it don't matter no more, because you've done it so many times. Even if it's off the cuff or not, it's just going to be 100% natural.
Straight.
Nice. 1,000 hours.
Speaking of hours, or I should say time, guys, unfortunately, our time is actually really done.
That's not unfortunate. That's a great thing. We got another episode in the bank.
That's true. Real talk. That's true. So we gotta call this one a wrap. We have basically 3 minutes. So let's what should we say before we go? Where are they gonna get more Live and Rock? Well,
we've been saying a lot about where they can go to hashtag Live and Rock and the website, but really I just want to tell you guys, we appreciate you guys being along for this journey. If you think you have a friend or someone else who would appreciate what we're sharing, please share it with them.
Yes.
And let us know what else you would like us to hear, what you'd like us to talk about. Give us your questions. Tell us about your journey, your struggles, and let us, have conversation about it. That's what we want most, is to hear you guys, whether it's Twitter, email, whatever method. Just put a like on the YouTube video. Just let us know that you're out there.
That's right. And let us know what your passion is. What is your medium? What are you trying to do? Are you a filmmaker? Are you a writer? Are you an artist? Just illustrator, like whatever it is. Let us know what it is, because I want to know that. I want to know what kind of creatives we're reaching, and I want us to be able to be effective in
creatives would you like us to have on the show, so you can hear their perspective.
That's right. If I'm getting a lot of comments, tweets, and I'm seeing that a lot lot of illustrators are listening to the show, then I'm going to make my best effort to try and get relevant topics on the show. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. You actually might be a guest
or
on the
guest,
show.
That too. We want
we may have a Q&A section where we'll answer all some of the questions that you may be burning to know.
Yeah.
So let us know, and so we can put it on the show.
That's right.
And all that being said, we do all that being said, we do have some pretty sweet things in the pipeline.
Yep. Including some great guests. Yep.
Yeah, we have some amazing guests in the pipeline. We have a lot of useful information in the pipeline for you guys. So we are just getting started.
Yes.
So look forward to it as we are looking forward to it too.
That's right. So I think we're going to leave it at that. We're going to call this one a wrap with our signature ending, which is the point is you're tuned into Live and Rock, but if you're going to live, you might as well rock.
Make some noise, rock the world.